So you want to write paranormal or urban fantasy? Well, the first thing you got to do is you got to pick some supernatural characters to write about. So today I'm going to go over an exhaustive list. And in fact, if you want that list, you can go to the link below and find out more about it. But we're going to talk all about the best paranormal, supernatural, urban fantasy characters and all of their friends, because they need friends to go with them in your book. I'm Lisa, best-selling co-author of the Snow and Her Seven Seals series. On this channel, we talk all about romance writing. So if this sounds like you or something you might be interested in, make sure to hit the subscribe button below. I post new videos every Monday. Now, if you're like me, you have been in mourning ever since Buffy the Vampire Slayer was killed, or canceled, I should say, but it feels kind of like she was killed because there's no more new episodes and she's moved on and is making other things totally unrelated. So it's a little sad, and I've been in search of a new Buffy to replace her with. And recently, I really loved the series Lost Girl, but that was canceled. I kind of like Winona Earp. It's all right. And I kind of like Van Helsing. It's all right. Same thing. So we're going to talk today about you and if you want to write paranormal or urban fantasy and what sort of characters you can create so that hopefully it can be made into a TV show or a movie, and then I have something new to watch. So if you have not, my number one suggestion is to watch the TV show Supernatural. So there are 10 seasons, I think, at this point. It is like one of the longest running Supernatural shows. It is an excellent show. I love it. There's two hot guys in it. I mean, you can't really miss. They have tons and tons of supernatural characters. And because it's now going into its 11th season, they have to get really creative on thinking up new characters. So you're going to get a lot of great ideas just from that one TV show. The second thing you can do is download my list of paranormal romance characters and their friends. So let's go through some of my top ones because that list has about 50 different things on it. And we don't want to be here for 50 minutes, but let's talk about female heroines. So Lost Girl was a really popular show that was out of Canada, and it was about a succubus. So if you don't know what a succubus is, it's supposedly derived from the Fae legends, and the Fae came out of Ireland, but basically a succubus is a woman. The male version is called an incubus, but the succubus is someone who draws all of their energy and power by sucking the life or sexual energy out of others. And in the process, because it's not really defined, you can kind of make up your own rules. In the process, people could be killed when they take all of their energy, or it could just leave them high, like they just had an orgasm or something. So in general, being with the succubus, when they take your energy, is like a pleasant experience, which is why it's all sexual. So that is obviously probably going to be a steamy romance, but I did just finish reading a succubus series that had no sex in it, which was very odd. I would not suggest doing that. I was very disappointed because it said succubus and it had no sex. That was confusing. But that is one character. Second character is a siren. So a siren, there's actually a TV show that just came out. I think it's in its second season right now. It's called Siren. I don't remember what network it's on, but it's actually about mermaids. But that's what they're calling sirens. Sirens could or couldn't be mermaids. They scream. That's the thing with the siren. They can usually undulate or regulate their vocal cords to sort of put you in pain, put you to sleep, sound waves that can fix things, right? So I'm not very good with the science fiction with the sound waves, but those are sirens. Obviously, number 3 is a mermaid. Not a lot of stories with that. I think that's because The Little Mermaid on Disney did such a great job. And also, there was a movie from the 80s with Daryl Hannah about a mermaid. So the problem with the mermaid is you got to be in the water. However, if you haven't noticed, in the last DC installment, Aquaman was looking pretty hot, so I think there's going to be an Aquaman movie coming up all on its own, so mermaids might make a resurgence if that is something you are interested in. All right, so that was number 3. Number 4 is angels. So everything to do with angels and demons and celestial, that's a whole huge world of characters, Cain and Abel, Satan, Lucifer, archangels. There's so many different people that are built within that one little world if you decide instead go with an angel as your heroine or even a demon. Number 5 is going to be, well, it's kind of related, Nephilim. So a Nephilim, if you're not familiar with that, is a half angel, half human. Nephilim usually have, just like, I guess, what are other hybrids? They have all the great powers that angels have, or sometimes better. It really depends on who created them, like who their mom or dad was. And then they don't really have any weaknesses that humans have, but they're still living in the human world and they're stuck on Earth. They're not up in heaven. The next one is that whole series of vampires and werewolves. I don't want to say it's dead because people are still writing it and other people are still buying it and reading it. So within there, and even Van Helsing is all about vampires, and that's a new TV show that was just renewed. So clearly it's going to be okay for the vampire genre, even though everyone said it was dead after Twilight. So that's a whole different area you can write about. Amazonians, again, with the resurgence of the DC comic book hero, I almost said Superwoman, but I meant Wonder Woman. She's supposedly an Amazonian. You could do a lot of different things with that trope. I shouldn't say that trope, but with that origin story, right? It doesn't have to be Wonder Woman. You could create your own Amazonian woman. I don't know if you remember Xena, the warrior princess, right? Those were Amazonians. So there are so many different directions you could go, because a lot of these are, again, these are older, which means they are not copyrighted, and you can kind of just flow with the idea and make up whatever you want. A fairy, I don't know why fairies are so popular right now. I'm not even sure what a fairy does or what it doesn't do. I mostly think of Tinkerbell, but fairies are like everywhere, especially in the young adult world. The next one is witches. Always good. People love a coven of witches. Witches are kind of sexy. And then let's go ahead and talk about their boyfriends or their love interests. So a big one, especially once you get into the whole angels and Nephilim, is the 4 men of the apocalypse, right? It was war, famine, pestilence, and death. Those could all be sexy guys, kind of just hanging out, waiting until they're called. Lucifer, very sexy. The Prince of Hell. Asmodeus was I think he's a famous like demon character that was with Lucifer and Satan. Hellhounds, it could be sort of a werewolf changing kind of thing. Cain and Abel, those 2 guys. And all these characters from the Bible, you could turn those into like superheroes. And again, it's not really copyrighted, so you could just make up your own rules about any of those characters in the Bible. All right, there's the Knights of Hell. Those could be sexy. Scribes, God's scribes. Leviathans from the Bible. Reapers, those are another huge one. Oh, these are women. So another heroine I forgot about are the Fates. So the Fates, there's a really good episode of Supernatural about it, but the Fates are women. So not like witches, they're sisters, and they all kind of protect each other, but the Fates are able to tell the future. So not that they tell the future as much as they just make it happen. Like if it is your destiny, they are all about destiny. If it's your destiny to fall off a cliff and somehow someone comes along and supernaturally saves you, the Fates will make sure that gets corrected somehow. So those are the Fates. They're a little scary like that. And then seraphims, which are below archangels. So you could have different levels of angels, just like the military. I guess they have different ranking. And then shapeshifters, obviously, that's kind of a broad category. I guess werewolves are considered shapeshifters. They have dragon shapeshifters, right? You could do tons of different things with these. Gypsies, jinns, dragons, I already said, elves, gargoyles that just, I guess they're like statues, right? So they're statues when maybe you're looking at them or during a certain time, and then they can take their human form. Other times they're like cursed. That's why they're gargoyles and they're sometimes statues. And travelers are people that can jump from soul to soul. And then, of course, you're going to have weapons. So little bonus section here. We've already talked about characters. What weapons are you going to have? You could have the first blade, the Book of the Damned, phoenix ashes, which I don't know if you remember, phoenixes can rise from the dead. So usually if you have phoenix ashes and you mix them in with something and someone drinks them, then they can rise from the dead, or it can heal things. The angel blade, death scythe, Cupid's bow, Artemis's bow, Gabriel's horn of truth that forces everyone to tell the truth, kind of like Wonder Woman's lasso, the rings of the horsemen, which usually have some superpower, and that's kind of what defines them as horsemen of the apocalypse, the spear of destiny, the staff of Moses, the ark of God, holy water. There's so many different things going on in here. So paranormal supernatural is so fun. There are so many cool things going on inside this one romance subgenre. So I hope that was helpful. Remember, if you want a quick and easy list, make sure to check out the description below. And I can't wait to hear your ideas. Let me know in the comments what I missed. Like, I think other people need ideas. I can add to this list. We can just keep growing it every year. All right, I hope everyone is having a great day, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.